Hey friends, today we're turning this empty pie dish into a delicious shepherd's pie.
Taking a dance break in the middle of a recipe, even if it's a funny dance, is always a good idea. So I highly suggest it. And you know, I haven't actually had shepherd's pie too much before I made this, and it was really fun to make and to be able to combine all of these random ingredients together and make something delicious. So you want to make sure that you get your water boiling and your potatoes in for your mashed potatoes, especially if you're making them from scratch, because this is obviously going to top your pie, and the potatoes take a little bit of a while, probably about 30 minutes until they're fork tender, because you want to be able to mash them right in. And then from there, you can put some butter in your pan, your chopped onions, as well as your garlic. Get those all nice and cooked and translucent before adding in your beef and adding in your seasonings. So we're going with the usual suspects here: a little bit of salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, rosemary, thyme, parsley. Get that all nice and mixed in, and make sure that your beef is all browned, so meaning that it's all fully cooked. From there, you can add in some tomato paste, some beef stock, as well as your peas and carrots. Now, I'm not a huge peas and carrots fan, but I know that they belong in this dish, so I did about half the bag. And then you get all of that nice and mixed in before going in with your flour and your Worcestershire sauce. Now, the flour is going to thicken everything up, so you want to make sure that you have your pan on, I'd say, a low to medium heat. That way it's just simmering and everything in there can get nice and thickened. Now, by this time, hopefully your potatoes are done. So you drain them from the water, then you add a knob of butter as well as some milk, and it's just dependent on how creamy you'd like your potatoes to be, but then you can go in and mash them. I'm using my little meat masher here. It is really easy to mash potatoes with that thing, and they came out so super creamy and delicious. Again, you can adjust the amounts of butter or milk that you use in your potatoes in terms of how creamy you want them to be, or if you want them a little bit chunky, you can leave a little bit of it out. But in any case, everybody's mashed potatoes preferences are different. And then you can take your pan and do a layer of your beef mixture. By this time, it should be nice and thickened. Do a layer of that before going in with the mashed potatoes. Now, I am using a piping bag here. This is just so that I can get a nice even pipe before actually smoothing everything out. You don't have to use a piping bag. I just found that it was the least messy way to do this. And then you can sprinkle it with cheese, as little or as much as you want. I personally like to go with a medium amount before pounding that cheese into that crust and then putting it in the oven for about 15 minutes on 375. And then it should come out with a nice golden crust and looking super delicious.
Ooh, it already looks super buttery just cutting into it. Oh, look at that. Super smooth, super seamy, super delicious. But I don't want to burn my mouth, so give me a second. Okay. That is so good. It's creamy. The mashed potatoes are buttery. It's so flavorful. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm so sorry for my vegetarian followers, but this is absolutely incredible. We'll figure out how to make a vegetarian version, because this, you can't beat this.